Well, it's a beautiful day outside, but I'm here in the garage because we have a rodent problem. So, I keep a few bags of feed in the barn. We don't do much feed for cows, we just do a little bit here and there to give them treats, something to, bring them in, bring them up to the corral so we can look at them, just makes it easier. But it means that we have to keep at least a couple bags of feed in the barn. And as it turns out, no matter how many bait stations you put around the barn to feed the local critters wonderful things that make them go away, they still come and they still like to get into those bags of feed. And they didn't cause a tremendous amount of damage or anything, just, chewed a couple holes in a couple feed bags. But it would be nice to keep them out of the feed. So to do that, we want to have some kind of a legitimate feed bin to put the feed in instead of just leaving it in bags in the barn. Feed bins, if you go to price them, they're up there. I think the cheapest one I saw that was a legit one was about $300. So that's a little pricey, especially since I'm not going to be, feeding tons of feed. I just need something to store at least a little bit. So what we're going to attempt to do here is make a feed bin out of this lovely galvanized trash can. Never been used for trash, nice and clean, and we'll scrub it out with soap, of course, before we use it once we're done building this thing. But what we've done is we've taken this trash can and we've bolted a gate valve to the bottom side of it, put a hole in it, of course, and that gate valve is going to act as our dispenser. We're going to have this trash can something about like this. We want to get it mounted something about like this so that we can put feed in the top. And there'll be probably anywhere from, could be anywhere from 100 to 160 pounds of feed in here, depending on how full we fill it. But it'll be mounted about like this so that that gate valve at the bottom can be used to open and close, stick a bucket underneath it, fill a bucket, and take some treats out to the cows. So to do that, of course, we need to build some kind of a cradle to let it sit on. And to make that cradle, we are going to use what I will consider to be one of mankind's greatest creations, the 2x4. It's been in many incarnations over the years, but it's a wonderful piece of stuff. And, even little pieces like this, they work out well for me with projects like this. So I've got a whole pile back there of them. And we're going to use some pieces. I've got some long ones to cut up for the long pieces I need. But anyway, I don't really have a very firm plan of how I'm going to build this cradle. So I'm just going to kind of let the camera run as I build it. And then once I get to the end, we'll talk about what ends up being the result of this. So here we go. Well, there we are. That's not bad. I need to do a little more to firm it up, but yeah, I think that's a pretty good cradle. There's certainly enough distance underneath it to get a bucket under it, and should be pretty stable. It is already. So I think what I'm going to do, I'd like to just put a piece across the bottom, probably either across the back and the sides maybe, just to stiffen up that base a little bit, and put some more screws in here and there just to make it a little bit tighter, make it a little less likely to move on me. But that's pretty good. So I'm going to finish it up. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. Just added additional screws to the tops of both the front and rear legs, just because doing that will make it so that these can't twist. I didn't add any diagonals to them. Technically, yes, it would be stronger if I did, but as you can see, I can already hold myself up, and I weigh 180 pounds, so I weigh more than this thing ever should, and it holds me just fine, so I think it'll be all right. I did end up using one thing that wasn't a 2x4, largely because I'm out of longer pieces of 2x4 at the moment, but just had this little piece of 1 by 1.5 laying around. So use up old wood. Whenever I get the chance, use up old wood. But still leaves plenty of room to get in here, get to the gate valve, so that's fine. Once this thing's got weight in it, of course, it'll stay in there. Like, it's a little rickety right now, but it'll be pushing down once it's got weight in it, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it'll be fine. So next thing to do, get it out to the barn and see about getting some feed in it. All right, it's time to try out the feed bin, and we better get to it because our audience is waiting. So let's go get the feed bin set up. So before I fill it up completely, and it's really heavy and I can no longer move it, let's make sure it works. Excellent. All right, it's a little more than 80 pounds of feed in. Still holding. Let's put some more in. And if anyone's wondering what feed I'm using, in our quest for organicness, this is New Country Organics. There's a few different organic feeds out there that you can buy. This is actually their cattle dairy version. They have a cattle maintenance as well. Obviously, I'm not raising dairy cattle, but I do have a bunch of mothers who are going to be feeding their calves very soon, and the dairy's just like $1 more a bag, so it's not that much more expensive. It's got a little bit more stuff in it, so seems like a good idea. Anyway, if it doesn't work, we'll switch to something else. But in either case, this is the one I'm using for now. There's also, there's one out there that they sell at Tractor Supply, actually, in a big 2,000-pound tote. However, it seemed like for my little operation, that was a bit much, and I probably won't use it before it goes bad. So I'm going with these for right now, but we'll see how well it works out. Okay. Well, seems pretty good. It's holding. It's not moving much side to side. I mean, considering the fact that I built it out of scrap wood for the most part that I had laying around, and one 2x4 that had almost 180-degree twist to it, yeah, considering those things, it's actually pretty great. Who knows? I think I may end up making another one of these because I really only put about 3.5 40-pound bags of feed in here, and probably don't want to put much more than that. There's a little room at the top, but I don't think I'm really going to put 4 bags in here. So depending on how much I want to keep on hand, I may build 1 or 2 more of these just so that I have enough storage out here. But hey, you can't beat the price. The trash can was 35 bucks. The wood was free, and probably what, $5 in screws? So, I mean, for 40 bucks, a working, oh, and I forget the little gate valve down there. I think that was 10 bucks. So yeah, 50 bucks. And I got what should be a pretty well working feed bin. So I'm pretty happy with that. And now, of course, the best part of having a feed bin out here is I now have a bucket full of feed, which means we got to go satisfy our audience out there. Hydro, you're not even going to let me get the feed bin over there, are you? You're just going to come right over here and get to it, huh? All right, well, come on. We got to get it to the rest of your friends. I'm sorry, buddy, but you got to share. All right. I'm being followed. Hydro is very intent on following me. Oh, how you doing, Liberty? You want some too? You and Hydro both? All right, well, don't fight too hard. We're gonna all have it in a second. All right, excuse me. Let's go. All right, Julie, Martha, big ladies. Big lady, you want some? Martha, you want some? Go ahead. Go ahead, have a little bit. Well, I said a little bit. Okay, all right. All right, that's enough. Excuse me. Come on, back up. Come on. Let me get to your feet. Let me get to your bin. Come on. There we go. We got to get to your bin. I know. Nobody wants to share. There. How's that, everybody? Hydro, you're missing it. Come on in. You're missing it, buddy. Let's just see if we can't get Hydro to get the idea. Hydro, come on, go on. Go on. Go on. There's nothing in here, see? There's nothing in here. Go on. Come on. Hydro, come on. I'm pretty convinced that sometimes Hydro thinks that I have some feed specially for him. Oh, have you had enough? Is that it? You had enough pineapple? I didn't think so. You just didn't like fighting with the big ladies, did you? I know. Julie, are you pushing people around? You pushing the young ones around? Julie here is our, we're referring to her as herd boss right now. She believes she's in charge pretty much all the time. She kind of pushes the little ones around. That's okay. I think she's actually got seniority on them right now, so that's all right. Anyway, that's the end of our feed bin project. We got to do some mowing out here because I really want the field to look a little better and be better for the grass coming up since it's getting to be spring here. And after that, I got a few other projects coming up, and I got to do some burning because, yeah, there's a big old pile of brush right there up by the barn that my wife needs to burn. So we got stuff to do. Oh, and over there, that's a mineral feeder. Been having that outside testing for rain, and it's been working out well. No rain getting in, so we're gonna have to get the mineral set and put that together and oh, there's always something, always some project to do out here. So till next time, we'll see you soon.